A big cluster of thunderstorms moving along the North Dakota-Canada border. At first, you glance at this and the screen is just black. You're saying, what are we looking at? Then you get the flash of lightning and it just illuminates this massive thunderstorm. These were strong ones last night. This particular one happened after midnight. More scattered storms in the region today, but severe weather potential a touch farther off to the east. And it comes along with a significant flood threat. So this is going to be one of the things that we're watching most closely here on Fox Weather through the weekend. And the key change, this just happened last hour from the Weather Prediction Center. There was a massive upgrade to the flood threat, the flash flood threat into the weekend for Saturday into Sunday morning. Madison, Wisconsin up to almost Sheboygan, arcing all the way back to Des Moines, Iowa, much of the eastern part of the state included in that, and northeastern parts of Missouri. You get to a level 3 out of 4 from the WPC, very high correlation with impactful flash flooding occurring, dangerous flash flooding. So we'll be on the lookout for that. And unfortunately, the front gets hung up, and that's going to keep similar threats for similar places in the forecast second half of the weekend. Here's the swirl of low pressure associated with it's got this front with it. That's going to help to trigger some of the thunderstorms. And as that happens over the next several hours, I do want to point out that into tonight, they also added that back across southwestern parts of South Dakota, western Nebraska, an area with a 2 out of 5 threat. This whole zone, which does include the Twin Cities, you might be moving, maybe you got dinner plans for Friday evening and things look great. You're saying, what severe weather potential? The timing of this is late, like really late, unless your Friday plans keep you out into the back part of a Friday evening. Look at the timing with future radar. That was maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock. You get discrete thunderstorms starting to develop. Those are the ones that could have some tornadic threat, large hail makers. But by about 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m. local, you've got a complex of storms again. And up and down that line, which will be approaching spots like Duluth and the Twin Cities through the overnight, that's where we could have some damaging wind gusts well in excess of 60 miles per hour. So we'll watch for that. And then as we head toward lunchtime tomorrow, it's still raining in some of the same places. There are thunderstorms refiring on that boundary. That won't move a lot moving through the weekend, and that's why all of a sudden we've got this big flood threat that was just kicked up by the WPC. The orange is widespread. 3 to 5 inches of rain included in that, from northern Missouri all the way up through Wisconsin. But you also noticed embedded within that, you've got some of those pops of red indicating spots where you could get half a foot of rain through the early part of next week, maybe some locally higher amounts than that. That's a big problem, and it will lead to flash flooding in these areas. So you saw the threat for the first part of the weekend. This is now Sunday into the very early part of Monday. Very, very similar. Madison down through Des Moines, Kirksville included in this. It's almost the same place because that boundary just stops. It becomes a stalled front and does the same thing through the second half of the weekend. And the net result of all that, look at how widespread this is. From Des Moines over to Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, 5 to 8 inches of rain possible. Dubuque is a place that has dealt with terrible flash flooding. Dylan, that was last month? It was a flash flood emergency there?
Last month.
Last month, the flash flood emergency in Dubuque, and now you're dealing with at least the potential for something like that again. Be especially aware of this moving through the weekend.